guys, this is Shade, making a deck profile for Imagineyourgoddess, and this is going to be a Link Joker, Nebula Lord Dragon. The starter I use is Dusttail Unicorn because I think it's probably the best starter for it. The grade 3 Searcher is okay too, I guess. I'm not running that though, ever, probably. For triggers, I run 4 heal, because heal. Ing is awesome. And then I run currently 6 draw, 6 crit, but 8 crit would is pretty good, and then 7/5 would be good also. It's just your preference. Right now, I'm liking a lot of draws because I like having a lot of hand advantage, and since I lock stuff, I don't have to throw as much guard to block, so I don't need that many 10s. Critting's nice, I guess, but I do like draws as well. Alright. Since this doesn't need an E counterblast, I think, right? Yeah, this deck doesn't need E counterblast, a special counterblast or whatever. So I run the... actually, I said that, so I might as well go with these. I run the 8K Vanillas. These are pretty good because they make good columns with Infinite Zero, making it 21K, and then the grade 2 Singularity Sniper, 16K, so it's good against 11K Vanguards that you're against. So, those are good boosters. I normally try to put one behind the Vanguard and the column side for Singularity Sniper. I think if Singularity Sniper has a Silent Tom, you basically need a Gemini when you play Tom, or he kind of sucks. So, same concept. I run 4 Perfect Shields because I don't have Q walls yet, and I probably only run one Q wall in most of my decks. Then the other things in this deck, the grade 1s, is right now I'm running 4 Lanthenoms and 2 10k attackers. I've also considered 4 10k attackers and 2 Lanthenoms, but I'm pretty sure either will work. So the 4 10k attackers will give you more pressure, and if you have, or better attackers, but this will give you good stuff too if their stuff is locked, or the opponent's cards are locked. So, yeah. So, options. You can change out triggers and grade 1s. For grade 2s, I run 4 12k attackers because 12k attackers are pretty standard in most decks nowadays, I believe. Pretty good because, you know, if you go first, then you can attack a 7k Vanguard really easily because most people aren't running the vanilla. And they don't need to be boosted to attack most Vanguards unless cross-ridden, so very useful. I run 4 Singularity Snipers, which this card is when it hits a Vanguard and they have something locked already, you can choose something else to lock, which is pretty good. I doubt it'll happen if more than like a few times a game, but one lock thing's better than none. So, and then with the binary star behind it, that's 16k. Most Vanguards are 11, so good column. The last grade 2 is Mobius Breath Dragon. A lot of people don't like this guy because basically if you don't ride him on your grade 2 ride, he kind of sucks. But if you do, that's 1 lock, or if you do and get a hit, that's 1 lock, which is very good for advantage because, you know, you hit them guard less. And they can't use the booster effects or whatnot. Can't use a grade 3 Searcher if it's locked, all that jazz. So, yeah. He's pretty fun to use. But if you don't ride him on the grade 2 ride, he kind of sucks. Because he's just a 9k. But just 9k isn't terrible. And I run 4 Infinite Zero Dragon because basically every Link Joker deck is going to need the break ride or it sucks. And you can pretty much keep the starter behind the Infinite Zero for a while and hitting 18's fine. But when you use that, after you use the Stardust, rather, if you throw the binary star behind it, that's 21. It's an even better number because it hits 11 very well. Or if your Dusttail Unicorn dies by like Seishin or Lynchu or something like that. But yeah, this is when you break ride, you choose something in the front row and the back row, and you lock it. Normally people pick one of the like the higher attack row or whatever on the side and lock the front on that, and then they normally lock the Vanguard booster. And what people do is break ride and triple lock the front rear guard, back, and then using Stardust to lock a front one. So what most people do, and it basically gets you huge advantage because you can basically just drop a 10 for most Vanguards, and that's a 2-pass, and that's fine with most people. Very useful. And yeah. On to the last one, Nebula Lord deck. And this deck can also be run with stands, but I haven't built a stand one yet because I'm lazy and in college. And this is for every locked thing your opponent has, your front row gets 3,000. And its activate is Counterblast 2 and lock opponent's back. So you can lock all their stuff basically with Stardust, this, and Counterblast. But if you don't break right, it's a lot harder to play this deck. Well, any Link Joker deck from what I understand. I also just like riding Infinite Zero on Infinite Zero because just having them not being able to boost and attack with one row is so useful. You'll gain so much hand advantage, especially since this deck runs 6 draw unless you run less. But you'll be hitting big numbers at limit break because you have stuff locked. And even if you don't ride Infinite Zero, you can lock stuff with the Counterblast. So, yeah. I should be making a Chaos Breaker deck. That'll be fun, I guess. And Chaos Breaker is awesome, apparently. But yeah, lock is very useful because your opponent doesn't hit as many high numbers and you can guard with less, meaning more cards in your hand, and you can just, or when their stuff is unlocked, you'll have more cards because you locked them previously, so you have more cards, block more, while they're still feeling pressure from your Vanguards. Or attacks anyway, or attacks altogether. And I think that's all I gotta say. I should be making a Vowing Sword reverse profile soon, I think. I'm not sure yet. I think that'll be a fun deck. So, thanks for watching, guys.